A long time ago, in the heart of Akanland, there was a great village called Asantemanso. It was a peaceful place, surrounded by thick forests, tall mountains, and mighty rivers. The people of Asantemanso were hard-working farmers, hunters, and traders. But above all, they respected the spirits and the gods. The village had a powerful fetish priest named Okomfadade. He was strong, wise, and had magical powers from the gods. He could talk to spirits, heal the sick, and protect the people from evil forces. Everyone in the village trusted him, for he was their guide and protector. Deep inside the dark forest lived the Muetia, a small mysterious dwarfs with red eyes and magical powers. The Muetia were tricky and loved to cause trouble. Sometimes they would steal the villagers' food, hide their hunting tools, or lead travelers astray in the forest. For many years, the villagers lived with the tricks of the Muetia. But one day, the dwarfs became more dangerous. They started attacking the farms, burning the crops, and even kidnapping children at night. Fear spread across the village like wildfire. The villagers ran to Okomfadade for help. Okomfo, the Muetia are destroying our village. Please, save us, they cried. Okomfadade listened carefully. He closed his eyes and spoke to the gods. Then he opened his eyes and said, "The Muetia have become too bold. It is time to teach them a lesson." That night, Okomfadade went into the forest alone. He carried a sacred staff, a calabash of holy water, and some powerful herbs. As he walked deeper into the woods, the trees whispered and the wind howled. He knew the Muetia were watching. Suddenly, a group of small shadows jumped out from behind and the trees. Their red eyes glowed in the darkness. "Go back, Okomfo," one of them hissed. "This is our land. Now." Okomfadade smiled. "This land belongs to all creatures, but you have become greedy and wicked. I will not allow it." The Muetia laughed and clapped their hands. Suddenly, a strong wind blew, and Okomfo's staff flew from his hand. The dwarfs used their magic to lift rocks and threw them at him. But Okomfo was ready. He clapped his hands 3 times and called upon the spirits. "Nyame, great God of skies, lend me your power." A bright light surrounded him, and his staff flew back into his hands. He poured his holy water on the ground, and instantly the earth trembled. The dwarfs screamed as a powerful force knocked them back. The dwarfs were shocked. Never before had anyone fought them with such power. "We will return," they shouted as they disappeared into the night. Days passed, but the Muetia did not attack again. The villagers began to feel safe, but Okomfadade knew the battle was not over. One night, the sky turned red and the earth shook. The Moetia returned, but this time they came with their king, a mighty dwarf named Nana Udru. He was taller than the other dwarfs and wore a golden crown made of bones. You have defeated my warriors, Okonfo, but you cannot defeat me, Nana Udru growled. With one stomp of his foot, the trees bent and the river stopped flowing. The village was in danger. Okonfo knew this time was his greatest test. He raised his staff high and called upon the gods. Spirits of the land, fire of the sun, and water of the rivers, come to my aid. A mighty storm rose in the sky. Thunder roared and rain poured heavily. The storm was so strong that Nana Udru and his warriors fell into the ground. Okonfo took a special leaf from his bag and threw it in the air. The leaf turned into a great chain of fire that wrapped around Nana Udru. Promise to leave my people alone, or be locked in the spirit world forever, Okonfo commanded. Nana Udru struggled but could not escape. I surrender, he cried. We will leave your village in peace. Okonfo spoke a final spell, and the storm calmed. The dwarfs ran deep into the forest and never returned to Asantemanso again. The next morning, the sun shone brightly over the village. The people rejoiced and thanked Okonfo for his bravery. From that day on, the land was peaceful and the villagers lived without fear. Okonfo became the greatest hero in Akan history, and his story was told for generations. Even today, in the deep forest of Ghana, some say the whispers of the Moetia can still be heard, but they never dare to attack. The end.